All right, so this is exercise 29B on page 29-17. This first page, you're creating blocks, and so you draw these figures and you create blocks. Now, if you notice, when I move my cursor, my crosshairs over these, they kind of light up. So what a block is, it's kind of like a protective force field to encapsulate your line work to one specific entity. And here I've created simple block rectangles to show you. You don't have to create this, but just to show you some of the things that I did. So I labeled some of the items that weren't really labeled in the text. I also went ahead and did interior door and exterior door, and I'll explain this later. This is a window, and I'll explain why I copied several of them and rotated them. But right now, let's get into the block and how to create blocks. So these I already created as blocks because I didn't want to show you how I did created all these and made each one of them a block, because I think that would make the video way too long. Okay, so this is the outlet symbol, and in order to create a block, you just type in the word block. So this is an outlet, and you can select the objects to convert, like I just did right here. I selected them, and block is in inches. It tells you I selected 3 objects. And I could pick a base point, but I don't want to because I'm just going to copy these and paste them as needed. And so I'm just going to hit OK. And now this is a block. So that is the outlet. I'm going to move this into the completed area over here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the block again for this wall sconce. If you are unfamiliar what a wall sconce is, look them up. Now, in architecture and engineering, it's like learning a new language, all kinds of things that you didn't realize what was called. You kind of have to look up. All right, so that is wall sconce, and then a block for this light switch. There you go. Okay, and I'm going to move this, and so now all these are categorized. And now I'm going to turn to page 29-18, and I'm going to start creating the floor plan. Now, the floor plan, the outside walls are a 20 by 16 foot rectangle. So make a rectangle. Dimensions, oops, sorry. Let me specify a base point. And now dimension 20 feet, 16 feet. There you go. All right, so I went ahead and created the 20 by 16. When I first created the rectangle, it was sideways, and so I just rotated it to this. And now I'm going to offset this 6 inches to the inside. And this is going to make up the walls. And so we have a few dimensions that we need to consider. The door is going to be 6 feet 10 inches from this corner right here. this way. And so I can do this in a few ways, but I think the easiest way would to be grab a door, this door in particular, and just make a copy. And I'm just going to copy it and drop it right here because I need to rotate this and I also need to mirror it. So I'm going to rotate this. And I'm going to mirror it. And I want to delete the source copy, yes. The reason why this block has a line on it, because this is an exterior door. This line represents the threshold that's supposed to be in the text. But it's not, and don't worry about it. I'm giving you some insight. And now I want to move this, so move from this base point, and I want to go up 6 feet 10 inches. So 6 feet 10 inches. And then I'm going to have to move this over 6 inches as well. Or just do this. And now I'm going to have to break this up and create lines. Trim this, and I'm good to go. Oh, one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to put this on the wall layer. So make sure you're on the right layer for particular parts. All right. And now that is done, and I can start doing the interior walls. And so I'm going to start up here, and it looks like there is a wall that goes 7 feet 6 inches here. Now I can draw a line from here to 7 feet, because if you look at the bottom left-hand corner, there is a wall that comes here up and down. That's 7 feet. So 7 feet. And I can go ahead and make that wall. I'm going to extend this here. I'm going to offset. And I've already offset it to 6 inches. So I'm just going to do that. So this line right here, I'm gonna make some construction lines. So I'm gonna go here and oops, not there. Delete. I'm gonna go here from the inside of the wall, because that's what the measurement, and down 7 feet 6 inches space, and then I'm just gonna go over. And now I'm just going to trim. I'm going to trim from here and then just delete these construction lines. And now this needs to be offset. 6 inches is fine. Interior walls, you could do 4 inches, and actually it really depends on the materials that you're going to use. Because if you got bricks on the outside, this might be 8 inches on the exterior wall. But for this, we'll just do 6 inches. And it looks like I am going to have to copy this. And, oops. So I'm going to select this, copy. I'm going to copy from this base point, and I'm going to move it down 5 feet 6 inches. The reason why I'm going to move it down 5 feet 6 inches, you'll notice that this space from this interior wall, from here, this line to this line is 5 feet. Well, I copied it from this base point, and I compensated by adding 6 inches because of the thickness of this wall. So when I go do this dimension, you'll see that it's 5 feet. I'm going to go ahead and undo that. And it looks like this wall is continuous to over here. And so I'm just going to extend, oops, extend to this line. I'm done. And I'm going to get rid of these intersecting lines right here. And so I'm just going to trim, hit that spacebar twice, and do some cleanup work. There we go. Here we go. There we go. And there we go. So all this space right here is wall space right there. And now I'm going to put the windows in. And so it looks like there's a window here, a window here, 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 and here. So I'm going to go ahead and this is why I made a vertical window and a horizontal window. And it looks like all the windows are 5 feet. And I went ahead and made these blocks. And so I'm just going to copy CO, and I'm going to paste them onto the wall where I can get a dimension from. And so this dimension from here to where it's supposed to be is 1 foot 9 inches. So I'm just going to drop that one here. And then this one is supposed to be, well, I'll just move that afterwards. So I'll just drop it here. Or you know what, I could drop it here and then move it afterwards. So move. I could also move it again. And this is supposed to be moved 2 feet 10 inches. So 2, 10, and that's in its proper place. If I want to double check that, just dimension it. 2 feet 10 inches, perfect. And I'm going to move this as well. This needs to come down 1 foot 9 inches, 1 foot 9 inches, enter. And so my vertical windows are in. And now I'm gonna put the horizontal windows in as well. There's one here, one here, and one here. And so I'm just gonna use the copy command, copy, select this, and I'm just going to drop it in a place where I can get the dimensions properly. And so I'll drop that one here, and it looks like I can drop this one here, and this one, I'll just drop it here and then move it. So move. This is 5 feet long, and the dimension I need is 2 feet in addition from this point on. So I'm just going to move this over 7 feet. And I already added the 2 feet that I needed, and there you go. So you can see how when you're using CAD, you can use math to help you out. You can also use construction lines to help you out. I'm going to move this over 1 foot 3 inches. And so this dimension here to here is 2.9. One 3, and right here to here, 7.6. And I'm just using the space bar to jump back in and out of this command. And if you notice, I'm making this, I'm using the snaps to here to make sure these are all lined up. And so it looks nice and neat. see what else. Well, this is weird. All right, so it looks like I made this wall 6 inches too far. What I didn't see was that the text started the measurement, the dimension from here and ended here. And I assumed that it started here on the inside to here, but that is not the case. So what I want to do is, well, first of all, I need to move this. And this needs to be moved over 1.5 feet because I dropped it in the wrong place. So it's from this point, it needs to be over 2 feet. So I'm going to move it over 1.5 feet. 1 foot, 6 inches, enter, good to go. I'm still gonna need, so this needs to be shortened 6 inches. So I'm gonna use the stretch, or I'm sorry, yeah, stretch command, move this over 6 inches. This might throw my dimensions up. Nope, it didn't. Perfect. Let me dimension there. So from here to here. Oh, that needs to be 2 feet. So I need to move this over 6 inches. Perfect. And so now this dimension should line up. All right, well, let me go ahead and pause it. Yep, it does line up. This says 6'6" because this was mentioned in the wrong spot. It should have been from this corner. And yep, it is now 7 feet. This dimension from here to here is 5 feet. I'm gonna line that up. Dimension here to here is 2 feet. Again, use my snaps, line that up so it looks nice and neat. And this dimension should actually come down here. Both of these should come down here. This one should come down here as well. So you should have these spaces in between. And there you have it. So those are dimensions for there. This one, I don't like that this dimension has this line going through it. And so I'm going to go ahead and move this. To a better spot. And I think that's good. All right, 7.6. Let's get the overall dimension. Oh, well, we got that over here. So we don't need to overdo it. All right, these are dimensioned out. I can move this over. Just grab this grip, move it over. All right, now I need to put the rest of the doors in. It doesn't really give you the space that you need right here. You can do 3 inches. So if you want, you can make a line right here, move it 3 inches. And then put your door in. And so your door, your interior doors, should not have a line right here. So I'm going to copy this, use this as a base point, and drop that right there. Copy this. And now I am going to trim. And voila, you have a door. And so what I want to do is, I know this, I can create a line that will help me from here to here. And I want to use this line as a mirror. So I want to mirror this, this, and that. Not that. Let's see how it goes. Voila. And so I used the mirror command, and I kept the original because I didn't want to delete that. Let me delete this. This is a construction line. Oh, this one didn't copy, so I'll just copy that. Throw it down here. Trim. And so you can see how this moves fast. I'm going to go, well, that's actually everything on 2918. And so on the following pages, you're going to drop in the electrical and the plumbing. And so in this room, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over so it's closer to this. And then I'm just going to copy. And so I'm going to start with the outlets. Copy. I'm going to specify a base point here right in the middle. And I'm just going to get close. That one. Looks like there's one right here. And there's one down here. I'm going to rotate this one. Looks like there's one here. Now, typically, you would have a dimension on where these are going to go. But right now, I'm just doing a really rough guesstimate on where they go, just so I can get them all down and get done with this copy command. And then I'll move them to wherever they need. Looks like I need one more over here, there. I think that is it. I can make a copy of the lights. Center of the room. That's good. Well, that's good right there. And if you notice my crosshairs are longer than yours, it's because that's what I did when I customize my crosshairs. And I can show you how to do that. Right now, let's just get this done. This needs to be rotated, so rotate. And I'm just going to rotate about this center. And so this will snap. Okay, move. Just going to move it so it touches. Move this so it touches the wall. Move this so it's not cutting in between. move this so it's actually touching the wall. This needs to be rotated, so rotate. Right, move. All right, so I'm going to pause this. All right, so now these are the light switches. If you notice that your O snaps are kind of interfering, you can kind of pull away from it, and but your best bet is to zoom in. So zoom in and then just pull away from it, and then go from there. Let me space this out a little bit. Oop, I forgot to put a door here. So let me just put this here. I'll get that door later. Let me put this here. And I'll just mirror that, or just move it afterwards. There is also an opening here I need to create, so let me put this here, and I will deal with that later. This I'll do the same. Okay, so it looks like I have all those in there. So I'm going to go ahead and make this opening. It doesn't, oh, it does specify it. So it's 3 feet, and it looks like it's 1 foot from here, so 12 inches. And then offset. Oh, actually, let me just skip that. Trim. Delete this. Offset. 3 feet is also 36 inches. All right. So this door and this, I am going to mirror from this point. Trim. Done. Let's see. So I need to move this here, rotate this, move. There we go. Probably move it again. There we go. This needs to rotate. And I'm using all the keyboard commands that I taught you. This is how you go quick. So move. Okay. And I'm just going to give a once over, check everything out. All right, so I need to do a sync. So I need to offset this. Oops, escape, undo. All right, so I need to create a sync right here, and I need to put some sconces. And so I'm going to offset this 2.5 feet, so that's what, 30 inches. That might be a bit much, so let me move this back 4 inches. That's fine. Let's see. Oh, copy the sync. And I'm copying it from here because I want to offset this a little bit. I want it to match up exactly. All right, I'm going to move this think I may have made the sink a little too big. But I can adjust that afterwards. And so, in fact, I'm glad that happened. So if you click on a block, you right click, you can go to edit block in place. And this is useful if you did exactly what I did and kind of screwed up the block. Just edit block in place, hit OK. And I need to figure out what went down. Okay, so it looks like I did double of the dimensions. So that was supposed to be 1 foot, and it is 2, and then 1'4" the other way. So I am going to do this. And let's see if this is helpful. Okay. Delete. Undo. Delete this. All right, and so I just moved it halfway, and bam, 1 foot. Now I need to move this. So that's 1 foot 4 inches. That's 16 inches. So I need to move this. So I just selected that, move that, and I'm going to move that 8 inches. And yeah. So escape, delete this because that will be in the block. And once you're done, close, reference edit, save reference edit, hit OK. This is the same process that you'll use when you use XREFs. If you click on your XREF, right click, you can edit XREF in place and pretty much do whatever changes you want, and it'll update automatically in your drawing. Okay, so now that's done, and let me double check. Yeah, I need to move this back a little bit. That works. Okay, so I got a sconce here, copy that. In fact, nope, I'll just mirror it. Oh, that's the outlet, my bad. So the outlet I need to move. Get it closer, put a sconce here and a sconce there. And the wall sconce, I'm going to copy from here. And I'm just going to drop it in a place that looks about right. And I'm only do 1. So I can use the mirror and come to this midpoint, and now it's evenly spaced. This is an outlet, so the lights look symmetrical. Once that's done, counter space over here, offset 2 feet. That should be good. Now that offset this line and that line, these 2 lines, but that's okay. I am going to create a line that is going to be close to here, and then just trim. Delete that. And there's my counter space. I've got to rotate this, or I could just mirror it. No. Oop. Sorry, not mirror it. I'll have to move it. Careful which commands you choose, because all of a sudden your symbols are backwards. And so anyway, that's right. That's right. This is fine. Actually, this This could be moved a little bit according to the plan, but you know, this is not really dimensioned, so don't be too hard on yourself. Now we need a fan, so copy that. Move this fan into here. I need a copy of the tub. Grab it from this corner. There you go. This fan also has a light. So that is good to go. So page 229.19 is complete. And on page 229.20 gives you a wiring schematic, so to speak. Now, here you can use arcs. I would definitely change it to electrical, and actually there should be a wiring layer, but there's not. So I'm going to go ahead and create a wiring layer, and I'll use the dash lines for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. So I created a wiring layer, new layer, typed in wiring. I changed color to cyan, changed the dash from continuous to dash line, and now I'm changing the line weight. And so, so to change it to dash, just click on dash. If you make a new one, it'll be continuous. It's defaulted, but click on that, and you can change it to dashed. I used this one. Hit OK. The book says to change your line weights to 0.25. Now it says to type in LTS. You could do that, but right here it's already done. Just click right here, 0.25, hit OK, and that's it. So close out of that, change to your wiring layer, and use arcs to connect from here to there. Now you can adjust these arcs afterwards so they don't look so. And it looks like I'm going to have to adjust the layer as well, because I don't like this dashed. And so actually let's go properties, and let me go ahead and pause this, and I'll go ahead and fix it and show you what I did. All right, so I loaded more dashes, scroll down to something that I looked more suitable, so I picked dash 2. Went ahead and selected OK. Let me cancel all of that, cancel all of this. So that one's already loaded. Let me close that, and yeah, that looks better. Let me change this to back to 1. Maybe I'll just change this to 0.5. Let's see. Okay, that looks better. All right, so now I have this arc. Let me come out a little bit. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and make the other ones to. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. All right, so what these arc lines, these arc dash lines indicate is that these are the switches and what controls the switches. And so I'm going to use match properties because I don't want to go to every single one of these lines and try and match what this is doing. So just type in MA for match properties, and bam. And you can do this with any line. So if you, or dimensions, if you want this to match a particular thing, that's a quick way to do something. But there you have it. These are the switches and what each of these can control. So this switch controls these two sconces, this switch controls this light, these two switches control this light, so you can turn this, flip the switch on and it'll turn this off, flip the switch on and it'll turn it off, so it works that way. Anyway, so there you have it. Everything's dimensioned and everything's drawn in. And what they want you to do is to create on page 29-21 a plan that looks like that. Again, you're just going to use your viewports to do that. You already know how to use viewports and how to freeze the viewport layer so the lines from the viewport don't plot out. But I'm going to go ahead and show you typically what this looks like. And so I used a template, and in fact I will show you, oops, drawing number 2. So I went to the starts, I went down here for tutorial arch template right here. I clicked on that and this is what came up. So this is already done, this title block, and it's a nice one. And it's okay. It's not, you know, super fancy, but it's nice enough, and it's already set up for you. So the beauty of that is that you don't have to go to here, page setup. It's already set up for you. The only thing that's not set up is this right here. I typed all this in, and so in this corner, first of all, your title block is an actual block. So we can go to the edit block in place. Same thing, hit OK. And I just used text, mtext, and created this. This right here is at 1/8 of an inch. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, I can. I can make this, you know, 7/8, make it 1/4, but it'll probably be too big. So I'm not going to mess with it. Changed my mind. Let's see what's going on. So 0.25, enter. Yeah, that's weight. Oh, well, let's see. Yeah, that's too big. So let's try 3/8. Oops, not 3/8, 3/16. There we go. That's more manageable. So I'm going to go ahead and move this. So I went ahead and made this 3/16. This is at 1/8. You can see right here, 1/8. And then I just centered it, and then I made sure that, you know, this is lined up. Scale, I haven't determined the scale of the drawing yet. This, I did this at 3/4 of an inch. So it looks nice. And now I'm just going to use my viewports to create, looks like they want one at 1/4 inch scale. And they want one of the bathroom and the wash area at different scales. So on page 29-21, they want one at 1/4 scale, one at 3/8 scale, one at 1/4 inch scale, or I'm sorry, 1/2 inch scale. So I'm going to go ahead and make copies of this viewport. Oops. And I'm going to, So this happens often. I can't copy the viewport because I'm still in the block editor. Save the reference edits, hit OK, and now I should be able to copy. Yep. So let's see, copy. They want 3 total, and so I'm going to go ahead and resize this. Double click in there. Oh, this might be locked. Let me go ahead. So that's another thing that might happen. Your display is locked. Change it from locked to no. And yeah, now I can all right. So I'm going to go down here, change the scale. Let's go 1/4 inch. Oh, that's not 1/4 inch. This is 1/4 inch scale. Okay, now the book says that, but this is 24 by 36. So let's make this a little bigger. Half scale's fine. So that looks good. Remember, my viewports are on my viewport layer. So hit escape. And I'm just going to tighten this up. So my viewports are tighter, and I'm going to tighten this up. Oh, I need to add more dimensions over here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. All right, so I went ahead and created something to look, I don't know, more professional, I guess. So this is one where I'm showing the first floor plan. I'm typing in the scale. So over here, I can change the attributes or change that block to say something. Probably not to scale or scale shown because I'm showing the scale right here. And so now I need to show this little wash area. And so I want to change the scale here. Again, this is locked. So make sure this is not locked. I'm going to go ahead and check this one. Make sure. Now, if you select more than one, it'll say varies, but if they're both locked, it'll say both locked. But if one's locked and one's not locked, it'll say varies. But now they're both unlocked. And so now I can change the. And so I want to go. Let's go to half. And let's see what we got here. I can probably go from half to 3/4 scale. There we go. And I want this area right here, and I'm doing it off to the side because I want it to fit right about here. So I want it a little bit bigger, so maybe 1 inch. Yeah, that looks better. I know the book says one thing, and I'm showing you another. You know, if you're not comfortable with this and you're more comfortable with the book, then by all means, go with the book. But this This is pretty useful as well. And so I am going to trim out a few things. Before I move this over and see if this works. Nope. And now I am going to go move this here and change this to expanded review bath wash plan. There we go. Just going to move this so it lines up. There we go. And so change the scale because this is 1 inch. And now go over here, do the same, change the scale to 1 inch. Double clicking here. And we just want the bathroom. There we go. It looks like that is fine. Okay, move that. And I'm going to move this and try and line it up here and drop it right there. Expanded view bathroom plan. Move it again. So it's closer and it's lined up. So here you go. You know, I want to move this to kind of drop it down a little bit. And aesthetically, you can see that, you know, we're kind of filling up all this space. So I want to go to the viewport layer, freeze the viewports, and what I want to do is create break lines. I'm going to draw right on here. Oop, that's the wiring. Let's do def points. Here we go. Line. And your break lines, there to simulate that there is a break in the plan. That's let's see. So I'm just copying this, trim, trim, trim. And that's to indicate that this is a break. Let me unfreeze this. I think we can expand a little bit to show some of the other room. Go back. Freeze the viewport. And now I'm going to move this to right here. I'm also going to copy this, CO, because this needs to go on this side as well. And there should be a break here. And there needs to be a break line here as well. And so I'm going to copy that here, rotate, move, and there you go. I'm going to extend this line. And since I extended that line, this line no longer matches. So I'm not going to mirror. Oops, mirror. And I'm going to mirror from this point right here. There we go. And so now that looks better. Let me turn on the viewpoints. Or not viewpoints, viewports. Okay, move this up a little bit. There we go. Oop. All right, go back. Oops. Viewport freeze. There we go. Oops, that didn't move. All right. And I think we're done here. All right, you'll notice that these are kind of, these dimensions are larger. That's okay as long as you have these ones here, but the reality is you're going to probably do a save as and then change the dimensions, or actually put it on a different layer. Put these dimensions on a different layer to compensate for the, oops, I need to change this to 1 inch. The 1 inch to is equal to 1 foot. And that way this layer matches, or well, the scale of this matches the scale of this, so it's all uniform. Right now, don't worry about it. This is plenty. Let me go over here, block editor in place, and okay. change this to scale shown. Right click, close, save. Okay. Control P. Change this to PDF, monochrome, extents, center plot, 1:1, preview. Oops, it did not go to monochrome, and I'm missing layers. Okay, so I'm going to go back and figure out a few things on why my preview is not showing the rest of my drawings. I probably drew the rest of this on a different layer, so I'm going to go back and change that, and then so I'll pause the video and show you the end result. Thank you. All right, so it turns out I did some little investigating, and it happens to me as well. I noticed that when I did these blocks, I made them using the right layers, but when I saved them, it's saved to def points. Def points won't print out, so I highlighted everything in the electrical and changed it just now to the proper layer. And the walls, however, no excuse. I did screw up, and I drew them on the def points layer instead of the wall layer. And now let's see what's going on. So Control P, preview. And so now you can see almost everything. So I'm missing this line right here, and I think everything else is pretty good. Okay. I just need to change the plot configuration. So this plots out black and white, and I'm good to go. Anyway, that's it. So this is 29B in total. All right, so I went ahead and fixed the plot style. It's a heck of a thing to do. So if you started with this template, then adding the plot styles a bit of a hassle. So don't worry about the color on this one. Just go ahead and plot it PDF and save it, and it should look like this. So anyway, that's it.